I'll need to explain this in a little further detail because obviously I'm not quitting YouTube. However, a lot is changing. First, I think I need to start with a background of how my channel even started in the first place and how I came to this decision. My YouTube journey did not start with Minecraft content on BurssTwo. No. It started with tech content. The channel was actually called Tech A at one point, and all I was doing back in like 2016 was make videos about tech. Specifically a 12 video series I made where I bought 12 different dollar store tech items and then reviewed them all with my dad on like a podcast format. It was really bad. However, around 2017, my interest in the Minecraft niche became suddenly really strong. I basically ended up creating a machinima series called Escape, and I know that sounds really weird, but it was basically just a story about these teenagers who were stuck in this dystopian city trying to escape from a criminal cartel. I honestly really like the story even now, but there's a ton of things I could have done to like improve it or to continue it, and I just lost the energy. And I basically quit Minecraft up until 2019, and that's when SMP Live started. I think at this point you all know what SMP Live is. It was 100% the reason that so many creators exist today. I mean, Tommy in it literally is popular because he was inspired by SMP Live and just went and started doing his own stuff. You wanna know another creator that got popular because of SMP Live? Me. I literally started out because of it. I was like 16 years old, but I was one of the primary chatters on a lot of SMP Live streamers' small creator streams. I mean, like King Burn, Michael McChill. A lot of those people where they would actually read chat and talk to people. That was just my pride and joy, just being on those streams and being able to just talk to them and just enjoy what they're doing. It was a huge turning point for me and just wanting to keep doing more content because it was just a huge boost of energy seeing all these people be part of something that was bigger than themselves and be able to just grow because of it together. And I just wanted to be part of something like that. And then a year later, the entire world froze. And then something emerged out of it, Dream SMP. Unfortunately, there's a few connotations behind that now, but at the time, it was a huge resurgence of content. Everyone was coming back and becoming part of this new community, bigger than it's ever been before. It created new editing styles, it created new creators. People were just becoming part of this large Minecraft community that just came out of the ground. It was the largest it had ever been since the game first gained popularity in like 2012 to 2013. Also, side note, but wasn't that hacker like really weird? Was he a hacker or was he just in creative? Anyway, this was a new age of Minecraft, and I was sitting there ready to take advantage of that. And I kind of fumbled the bag, guys. I mean, I kind of understood how SMPs worked. I mean, it was a bunch of people, it was on a survival server, you kind of just manufactured some drama, you made some stakes, you made some lore along the way. It was really simple of a concept, and a lot of people kind of oversimplified it. I mean, I basically never even figured out storytelling at that point because everyone was focusing on editing style, they were focusing on Minecraft streamers, they were focusing on communities, they were focusing on these specific niches, as opposed to making content that's just good as a whole, something that sets a story up, something that allows people to be like, whoa, I'm in the shoes of this person. I want to do what they're doing. That escapism was something that we all needed, yet we never had the tool set to learn how to create that. And I was a little too stupid to learn that for myself. I mean, we were pretty much poisoned by the fact that we were all within our homes, not experiencing things in the outside world, that we basically thought anything was interesting at that point. I mean, I'm sorry, but a lot of the stuff we were doing between 2020 and 2022 was really boring. Just looking back at it, I think the only reason that we thought it was interesting was because it was the only thing that we had available to us. Even I look back at it with rose-tinted glasses and think this was a great time to just be alive and to be part of this sphere. But it just didn't seem like it matured. It didn't seem like it was able to stand the test of time. And everything that's resulted from that is starting to make me realize that I never, and I don't think anyone ever fully understood what we were doing right. We were doing something incredibly right, but we just never figured out how to recreate that. A lot of YouTubers now reiterate the point, story is king, and I know Ryan Trahan has pretty much reinvented that concept, but we never had that back then. We never had grounded storytelling. We always had to have something fictional or made up, and that seeped into my content heavily. If you look back at some of my old videos in my old channel, a lot of stuff I was working on was just flat out scripted or just didn't get the point of what a story was. And I don't know if that was just me, but let's look at this chronologically. We're gonna be switching perspective from looking at the community as a whole to looking what I was doing. First, I started out with challenge videos about 2 years ago, like a Minecraft butt parody, just a walkthrough of a portal gun mod with not much actual survival gameplay behind it. But then I had an absolutely massive paradigm change. I joined SMP on air. I mean, there's a lot of negative memories behind it now because of a lot of the people who were on it, but for me, I just have a lot of nostalgia for that time where SMPs felt like a boundless frontier. It was basically my first time ever being in an SMP, and having something that was almost a fork of SMP Live just filled me with this sense of joy just being able to be part of something this cool. But then some dark things happened. There was some drama and the server closed. And when I say drama, I did mean drama. However, there was some more serious stuff about the next SMP I got into that we'll cover in a second. Because that SMP ended, there was someone from the server who created his own version of the server with basically new biomes, different structures, just like an entirely new world that people will be able to enjoy themselves in. And for the most part, it was actually better, at least within the confines of the SMP era of 2019 to 2021. It was pretty solid, but any of the content I made on it was obviously really bad. I mean, I thought I could make an entire short series about building a pirate cove, and I didn't have any formal building experience, so it was just me kind of learning how to edit, and I over-edited. I mean, every single thing I did at that point was over-edited. I'm pretty sure I edit less now than I did back then. And that's a testament to how much story takes precedent over editing. As soon as that SMP ended, and this time not because drama, but because of the classic XQC quote, "That's not drama, that's a crime," everyone basically dispersed after that point because the owner was not a good guy. But at that point, something was brewing. As Dream SMP was starting to stagnate, a new type of SMP content started to arise. And I got in on it about a year later. If you look at Lifesteal SMP, Infuse SMP, if you even look at a lot of these hardcore styled SMPs, like Outcasts or Valleycraft, which is one that I used to be on, but the idea of having a gimmick to the SMP started to become something really, really powerful and honestly started to surpass the original lore SMP concept. So naturally at the time, I started to figure that out and I actually jumped on the train. I still wasn't full into content being my career at that point. I was still a kid and I was still just like, this is a hobby for me. I honestly wasn't even working for other YouTubers at that point. So this is just an era of experimentation for me. And I kind of wish that it wasn't. I mean, I joined C-Clean SMP and I thought it would be really cool to make some content about that in 2021, like late 2021. It even had some members from Lifesteal in it. So you're seeing kind of like this area where I'm starting to become more known in the community among other people. So I started to try and up my content in the SMP game to try and match what they were doing. So I started just pumping out videos, and looking back at them, I was kind of just making them for the sake of making them. I wasn't really telling a story in each individual one. I was basically just recording for about 3 hours on an SMP and then putting that together into a 7 to 9 minute long video. And I'm starting to realize that was a really bad approach to making content. At that point, everyone was starting to figure out the storytelling game, making an entire video with a full and concise storyline behind it. Obviously, that's not something new to YouTube in general, but the Minecraft community was starting to apply that to their videos, and I wasn't catching up. So I basically learned dark arts. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about the dark arts, as in things you should never do. For a short amount of time, I was part of something called Wild SMP, and the reason I'm gonna be telling you that is because there was another SMP I was invited to in the wake of Wild SMP not working out. Syndicraft. And that's not something that a lot of you will know. You won't know what Syndicraft is because it was never intended to be known by name. It was intended to be a vehicle for scripted SMP content. And that's a mistake that pretty much everyone on that server regretted. And I was one of the people that lagged behind in that. There was a lot of people that moved on to a new SMP, and I kind of got left behind. Only for a few recordings of mine where people ever actually joined Syndicraft. So I started to realize I was kind of lonely. One of my videos had gotten 100,000 views, and it was a scripted SMP video. Yeah, things were not going well in the Burssty economy, and I was kind of blind to that because all I saw were the views. And all I saw was that nice tick saying I was able to get monetized for the first time. I have a theory that this was what led my channel to the downfall that it has today. I had 14,000 subscribers. I averaged 1,000 views per video after my videos stopped doing well. And if you know anything about social media and algorithms, I was not in the niche that I got popular from. And I only realized it when it was too late. I mean, I was making survival and SMP content from the start, but the scripted content was the stuff that did well, and it was because of the fact that it was a cinematic scripted story. I only started to realize that people didn't actually care about me and the content I made on my channel until I was able to put 2 and 2 together, and that was pretty much only this year that I realized that. Now call me crazy, but my hypothesis is that YouTube had assigned me a niche, and I didn't want to make content in that niche anymore, causing me to be pigeonholed into doing a form of content that I never wanted to do. I mean, it was basically a crutch for me. So whenever I made a new video, sometimes it would pick pick up a little attention in the algorithm, but it would never be an outlier video. But I realized, what if it just wasn't an outlier video on my current channel? About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had a conversation with someone in a private creator server. At this point, I have established myself as an employee for a lot of popular Minecraft YouTubers. I've established myself in the lifesteal community. I do thumbnails. So I have this innate privilege that a lot of people don't have to just talk to someone who's already lived through the motions and just hear what they have to say about it. And for the longest time, I kind of overlooked that. I mean, I took it for granted. I have so much respect for a lot of these creators that I'm now just able to DM on a whim. I mean, it's a lot of power to hold in my hands, and I'm oftentimes just scared to message them. But I realized that maybe an outside perspective about this whole situation would help me a little bit. And I mean, I wasn't going into the conversation expecting something life-changing to happen, but I just hopped into a VC and just started talking to people, like venting my frustrations. And one of them mentioned, why don't you start a new channel? And I was honestly afraid of starting a new channel at that point. I was like, restarting from the beginning would be devastating for me, right? But then he said, upload some of your old videos to it. Make sure on your copyright board on your original channel that you've just like dismissed them and not taken down the videos that you just re-uploaded, but just see how they perform on a new channel. And I thought it was like a really weird idea, but I also thought, what's the harm? I mean, there's no harm in doing that, right? So I tested it out. Every 2 days, I upload a new video to this new channel called BurssTwo Plays, right? Just complete rips and re-uploads of other videos that I've made. So for a week, my suspicions are confirmed, right? I'm like, this is obviously not gonna work. But then I saw the graph start to rise on the very first video that I had uploaded to that channel. About 12 days after I had uploaded it, it started at 0 views, and then it grew to 100 views, 200, 500, 1,000, and I was like, oh my god, wait, could this just be first video luck? Could this just be outlier video on a very new channel and YouTube just bumps the impressions as if it's like a brand new channel and it's just trying to incentivize you to stay in the platform? Maybe it was a little bit of that, but then it saw the potential and then it jumped. It jumped to about 5 times as many views as the video on my original channel had ever gotten. For context, that video is I filled my Minecraft world with 250,000 bamboo. On the original channel, 6.8 thousand views. On this new channel, about 30,000. And I was like, okay, maybe that was just first video luck. But then, about a day later, my other videos on that channel started to do well too, and each one consistently outperformed the original upload by multiple times. And then I was like, to seal the deal, I'm going to make an entirely new upload and put it on that channel. Not on my main channel, onto this side channel, and if that does better than any of the videos on my new channel have done in the past 6 months, I'm making the switch. And then that glorious moment of me just sitting there and watching the video hit 2,000 views in the span of 24 hours, I didn't know what to say. I was completely just shocked. My videos hadn't done that well for so long on my main channel. My channel with 500 subscribers was outperforming my channel with 14,000 subscribers. And obviously subscribers aren't the only thing that matters, but I realized then and there that I had a fresh start. I had a reason to keep uploading on this channel and a reason to kind of leave the main channel behind. And it feels really bittersweet saying this, but I had so many memories on that channel and it felt like killing a part of me and not uploading to that channel anymore. I'm betraying my younger self for making this switch, for starting all the way over from the beginning. But this time, it almost kind of feels like New Game Plus. I mean, think of the unlimited possibilities that a channel with only 1,000 subscribers and multiple thousands of views per video. Imagine how much quicker I can grow on that than I used to on my old channel. As long as I have good ideas, as long as I have ideas that are better than the ones I had before, ideas that are grounded, ideas that are based around me and my experiences in the game, as opposed to other people and how I kind of just sucked up to them and tried to make content just like them. This time around, I'm gonna do it right. And I don't recommend you ever do this on your channel. If you're still in the niche that you're in, stay in that dang niche if you wanna stay in it, and don't make a new channel. Unless you're like me, and it seems like YouTube pigeonholed you into trying to make a form of content that you just don't make on your channel. Maybe it's worth starting over. But don't take that from me. Do some research first and think about it for a bit. I'll see you guys in the new channel. It's up on the screen right now, and you can click it and watch some of my new videos. My latest video is actually a collaboration with RecRep2, so if you want to go check that out, do that right now and let me know what you think. Thank you for listening for this long, for the very few of you that actually did, and I hope you have a great day.